Let's talk about hell. It's possible that you're already familiar with the three biblical views of hell, which is eternal conscious torment, conditional immortality, and universal restoration, though it is more probable that you're only familiar with the traditional view that we call eternal conscious torment, and any mention of another view would seem purely heretical.
Blasphemy! Oh, you'll smoke a turd in hell for that.
And this topic is a very dense topic. It's one that would be impossible for me to do justice to. But just know the majority of my notes come from a book called Why Hell? 3 Christian Views Critically Examined by author and teacher Steve Gregg. And if you're genuinely interested in this topic, I highly recommend you get this book. I also used a book called All Things New, What Does the Bible Really Say About Hell? By Peter Hyatt in my research, along with countless other articles, lectures, and books. But these two are some that were the most influential for me in this study. So how did we get here? Somewhere between the 4th and 6th century, the traditional view became the prominent view, thanks largely due to the influence of Augustine of Hippo. Though he wasn't the only proponent of eternal conscious torment, his teachings were foundational to the Catholic Church. The Roman Catholic Church's doctrine of hell was largely built on his interpretations. Effectively, Augustine's writings shaped Western Christianity, Catholic doctrine, and the Protestant Reformation. He was one of the strongest advocates for eternal conscious torment, making it the dominant Christian view of hell, though alternative views such as conditional immortality and Universalism were more common in the early church. So what is hell, and what does it reveal to us about God's character? These are important questions that we should ask, as hell serves as a litmus test for our understanding of God's nature. While his love and his mercy and kindness do showcase his goodness, how we interpret his judgment and his wrath reveals deeper truths, not just about God, but about how we have created the image of God in our own minds. And each interpretation of hell does provide a unique lens through which we perceive God's character and priorities. Does he value justice and mercy, holiness, or is it something else above all? And how we answer these questions shape not only our theology, but our relationship with the Father himself. If hell does represent judgment, what is the purpose of judgment? Is it restorative or is it punitive? Should we understand God's judgment like a physician, one who examines us, makes a diagnosis, prescribes medicine or surgery to fix an ailment that we may have? Or is he more like a judge who has sentenced us to pay for our crimes and he has cast us away without any hope for redemption?
Bodies are excused.
I find it funny that even in judicial systems, a sentence eventually comes to an end. The death penalty, life sentence, or otherwise, it all culminates in an end. But the traditional view of hell, punishment never ends. People infinitely pay for finite crimes. And this doesn't seem like true justice. So whether you're Hitler or you're a kind atheist grandma, the same unending fiery hell awaits, which hardly reflects fair judgment. So is the traditional view even compatible with the idea of justice? You know, we live in this bubble, a product of our own geographical location or time in which we exist. And our understanding of hell is shaped by this limited bubble. So I hope to explore and examine the historical arguments for the different interpretations of hell that have existed throughout the centuries. While it's not my intent to convince anyone of one view over the other, my goal is merely to demonstrate that all three views are viable and acceptable for the true believer. So the concept of unending conscious torment in hell raises a moral dilemma that creates a bit of cognitive dissonance in our minds.